Hi guys, it's Untitled Chapter and welcome back to another Minecraft World War II tutorial. Today we'll be building an absolute top 10 favourite aircraft of mine. I don't know what the other 9 are. If I ever bothered putting together a list, I'd probably know. But this is the Fairey Swordfish, a British torpedo bomber of the Royal Navy. With its nickname Stringbag, the Swordfish was now outdated by plane design by the start of World War II, but despite this wonderful machine continued to serve throughout the war until VE Day at the end of the war in Europe. During its war career, it outlived several types of aircraft intended to replace it, and achieved some spectacular successes, one of these being their involvement in the sinking of the German battleship Bismarck, where a distant relative of mine fired his torpedo from his Swordfish aircraft, and this torpedo just happened to hit the Bismarck's steering mechanism. This jammed its rudder and made the Bismarck sail round and round in circles aimlessly, probably making the crew quite dizzy and rather sick. This enabled the Royal Navy to catch up with the Bismarck and ultimately sink it. So, as always, we've got more than one aircraft, or more than one version of the aircraft that we can make in this tutorial. The first aircraft here is a grey and a light grey and dark grey camouflage Swordfish, semi-historical. Then we have a float plane Swordfish. These were launched not only from land coastal bases but also from aircraft carriers and warships. It's worth noting that these floats on this float plane can be fitted to the grey camouflage Swordfish there, and vice versa, the wheels from this Swordfish can be fitted to the float plane. So you've got a couple of options there, and I'll show you how to do that in the tutorial. Lastly, you've got a night camouflage Swordfish, which is a Swordfish in night camouflage. So in this tutorial I'll be making this grey and light grey Swordfish first. If you want to make the float plane, the white float plane Swordfish, or the night camouflage Swordfish, simply go ahead and make a quartz or nether brick version of the Swordfish you're about to see in the tutorial here. Once I've finished the tutorial for this Swordfish, I'll show you the various modifications and finishing touches you'll apply to your quartz and nether brick versions of the Swordfish. So without further ado, let's get straight to it and build the Fairey Swordfish. Right, so as I said, you can add floats to this aircraft, and if you're planning on adding floats to this aircraft and planning on adding the aircraft with its floats into the water, so it can float on the water, you're going to want to place your first block of the aircraft 2 blocks above the waterline here, the waterline being represented with these lapis lazuli blocks. But of course, if you're adding wheels to this aircraft, or you're just adding it in the air, then this doesn't apply to you. Anyway, now that we've got our first block set up, the chiselled stone block, we'll add 11 stone brick blocks behind it in a line. Then go back to the front of the aircraft here, count 1 block in, and add 9 slabs underneath. And then again back to the front and add 3 slabs on top. Then break these 3 blocks here just behind the slabs and replace them with cauldrons. Then at the back of the aircraft here, add 2 blocks like that, then steps in front, then 2 more steps on top, like that. The tail wing is simply a 2x2 slab square right at the back. For the wing, that's we're going to start off with a steps on the block just in front of all the cauldrons here, and then a line of 6 slabs attached to them going outwards. Then double back and make this a 2x6 slab rectangle, and then on the 3rd block in from the end of the wing here, break these 2 slabs and replace them with steps like that. Then grab yourself some nether brick fence and add it, put it on top of these steps like that, and also on these steps here. And now we'll do the upper wing, which is simply just, well, you just build slabs so they cover the lower part of the wing like that. So again, it's the 2x6 slab rectangle and an extra slab there. Now just quickly do the other wing. Okay. So the end result should look like that of your wings, and don't build on these 3 blocks here, just leave it as a gap like that. Quickly grab a wither skeleton skull and add it here for the tail wheel, and also here for the propeller cone. We'll do the wheels next, so just get some nether brick fence again, also some light grey glass pane, a item frame, and also some grey wool. Oh, I've already got that. Okay, so add the 2 nether brick fences here and here, just 1 block in from the front of the aircraft, and then add grey wool on the fence at the back here, and do the same for the other side, and then add item frames either side of the wheels, and in these item frames place the light grey glass panes. Just adds a bit more texture to the wheel. If you're planning on adding the floats, which I'll show you how to do now, then obviously remove all this, and also remove the tail wheel. You won't be needing that if you're landing on the water. So for the floats, you're going to add just in front of the wing here, add 3 nether brick fences like that, and also level with the first cauldron here, 3 nether brick fences. Then attach steps to the fences, to each of the outer fences here, and also here, where I've done something wrong. Oops, yeah, this should actually be, this forward float support thing should be 1 block in from the front of the aircraft, not 2. So the floats should be 2 blocks apart. And then simply connect these steps with slabs like that, then build 2 slabs outwards towards the end of the aircraft there, and 3 slabs forwards. Then leave this forward slab unbuilt on, but then on this second slab you're going to build a line of more slabs, so you get a second layer. But leave the 2 rear slabs also without slabs beneath them. And as you can see, it's level with the water line here, so the water meets more or less halfway up the float. Okay, and we'll just quickly add the other float. Right, and now for the propeller, so go ahead and grab some normal glass panes and normal glass, build the glass around the propeller cone like so, and put the glass panes here, here, here and here to finish off. Finally grab yourself a dark oak fence gate and dark oak fence, and on the last cauldron here add the dark oak fence and then the fence gate attached to it for the rear machine gun. Okay, I think that's everything. I'll just double check on the screenshots. Yep, that's everything for the structure wise, and now all we need to do is apply the camouflage. So just place the stone slabs in whatever pattern you like, really, doesn't really matter. Just try to get a even balance of the lighter grey and the darker grey. Obviously you'll have to work around these steps here, but that's no biggie. Don't forget to camouflage the floats there as well. Okay, so that's pretty much our first swordfish done, so now we'll move on to the other two. Okay, so as for the other swordfish float plane, well, you know how to add the floats, and you know how to add the wheels should you want to fit this with wheels instead. Also, if you're going to fit this with wheels, don't forget to add the wither skeleton skull for the tail wheel back over here. Apart from that, as differences go, there's hardly anything else to add. You're going to want to add iron trapdoors here and here on the front, and also here and here, and to make them retract you're going to remove the slab here, remove the block here, add a lever, activate the lever, and then cover it up with the slab. And apart from that, there's no other structural difference, so now we'll move on to the night swordfish. So you're going to use grey glass for the propeller, because when you're looking up at this in the night sky, you're going to want it to kind of camouflage in a bit more, opposed to using standard glass. I mean, look at the difference. And for the wheels, you're going to want to use black glass instead of the grey glass, and that's pretty much it. One more thing, I'll just quickly restore it to its default setting. So that's how the bottom of the fuselage would look on your default swordfish, but you can add, this is optional for this aircraft, you don't have to, you can remove these two front slabs and replace them with steps like so. And this is a sort of radar thing that was fitted to some of the very late swordfishes in 1944 and 45 for use. It's a sort of radar for detecting ships. But anyway, that's pretty much the tutorial for all three swordfish done, and I have to say they look pretty awesome. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If so, please leave this video a like or subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. The more support I receive from you, the more creations I'll be releasing soon. Would you like to see a particular World War II creation in this series of your choice? Put in a request for one in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. That's all from me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.